And these mountain lions, they're no joke. I mean, I've heard that they're scarier than a bear because you don't ever see it happen. Is that right? And what's the best way to deal with a big cat like that?
You can avoid a cat attack by doing so many preventative things. Like you articulate so well in your books and your training. Preparedness is everything, and you find yourself not in a lot of problems if you just have situational awareness. You prepare your kit. You're aware of everything around you, and you don't stumble into something that you can't get out of. And that's largely what we have. We have somebody that's a little oblivious to the trail. They don't spend a lot of outdoor time. They're not making the noise they should. They're not watching their perimeter. Cats are sneaky anyway. And they're going to do what a cat does. They're going to crouch down like a house cat. They're going to sit behind brush. They're going to wait for deer to ambush. Even for a big cat to take down prey like a deer or anything else, they still have to get close. It's not an easy kill, even for these more sedate, quote unquote, plains game animals. Mountain lions miss a lot of prey that they go after because the angle isn't right. Those animals have some awareness. They have some speed. They're dodgy. So same thing with humans. If you set yourself up and don't go into areas that are too thickly brushed, you're not making enough noise. You're not looking around at the sign. They're fairly visible if you pay attention. If you pay attention, especially when you're going into brushy, dense trails, and it's just situationally aware and looking at, what's beyond that cover and concealment and if there's a threat there. So mountain bikers that are just whipping down a trail, they've got their, earbuds on and they're rocking out hard. Then they stop and slow down. They still got their earbuds going because they get a flat tire and they happen to be in mountain lion country. They may never see that attack going because if they bend down and now all their oblique and peripheral vision is gone, that cat gets a prey instinct like they're seeing a deer or normal prey, and they go for people sometimes. And that's typically what we've learned. So people need to realize, stand tall, make noise, don't crouch down. And in the fatalities we had with those two awesome women and a tragedy is they were both crouched down, either in a crouched position like an animal bent down to feed a prey animal, or running at a normal gait without attention on where the threat was. And that animal just vectored in on a prey response like they were getting a deer that was oblivious, but just moving at a steady pace. So we see that it's not necessarily a human attack directly. It's a prey response to anything.
Anything that's running, they go, oh, I'm going to chase it.
There it is. Exactly. And that's the issue. So you need to be aware of, what you're going into and respond accordingly, how you behave when you're out there.
You're skiing down the mountain when, yes, an avalanche occurs and a wall of snow is gaining from behind. Okay. So do you compress yourself and become more aerodynamic so that you get down the slope faster, right? You're bent over going into full on Olympic mode, or B, move to the flanks of the slope while you can.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get to the flanks. I'm going to try to get to the flanks. I'm going to try to get the cover, whether it be rock or timber, because no matter how fast that snow's going, I know working in dense timber, I can dissipate it or the side can. I'm just going to try to get out of that ballistic snow cannon coming at me. Yeah,
that's right. Yep, you nailed it. It's getting to the flanks, basically moving perpendicular. You're not going to outrun or out-ski an avalanche. It's always fun. It's like, people think, I went over to Pamplona one year and did running with the bulls. And it's funny, you have to remind people that it's running with. You're never going to outrun them. You're running with the bulls. An avalanche is pretty much the same. It's going to get you, whether you like it or not. So go perpendicular, get to the flanks, and take cover. Okay, good job. So the snow is... the snow is going to be funneled, down the slope, potentially carrying less momentum and mass on the sidelines, and that's the reason why you want to head there. The mass of the snow is now coming and rushing by you, okay? So do you, A, jam a ski pole into the ground and try to stabilize yourself, or B, grab the tree that's next to you?
Oh man, that's a close one. I'm going to try to grab the tree if it's of significant diameter.
That's right.
A ski pole is going to be real tenuous at best. It may not even grab, but if I can get around a good, spruce or conifer or whatever that's 8 to 10 or even more inches of diameter, it's going to take a lot of snow to push me off of that thing.
Yeah, you're right. It's when you've got that much coming at you, it's unavoidable. And you're looking at your ski pole and you're looking at a tree that's rooted into the ground. The decision becomes real easy. I'll go with the tree as well. Good job. So next, let's see here. So from basically the whole goal is to not get swept away and not get buried.
Right.
So do you A, tie yourself to the tree using the straps off your backpack, or B, ditch the pack, the skis, and the ski poles and any excess gear at this point?
That's a good one, man. But I don't think I want to ditch my gear at this point. I want to keep that pack close because there's going to be essential survival pieces in it. So I'm going to hold on to that pack if I can. Definitely.
Yeah. So you got a little bit of combination of both answers, and I understand where you're coming from. And coming from the experts, these avalanche guys, they'll tell you, like, you definitely want to get rid of, like, it's the equivalent of drag, right?
Makes sense. Yeah.
If I'm standing still and something's going past me, if you have a bunch of items on you that can get caught and then pull you, you're basically getting rid of all that and want to be as slick and as streamlined as possible. And I would say, if you can get rid of everything but maintain, like, if your life support's in that pack, then by all means, keep the pack for as long as you can. But the snow, just like water, will grab onto all those items and use it to its advantage. So the rush is now coming down strong, and you are losing grip of the tree. All right. So do you A, try to climb the tree, or B, start going into more of a swimming motion and stay on top of the moving snow?
Oh man, I'm going to try to get high ground is always beneficial, man. I'm going to try to get some level of high ground and stay above it if I can, because if I get caught in that swim, I think I'm going to get buried. And it's going to kind of depend on what I can do on that tree or not, how stable it is, how big it is. If it's an insignificant tree, I may not have that opportunity. I'm just going to have to swim with the flow and try to stay topside. But I'm going to try to get some high ground if I can.
Yeah, I think that's a good process of elimination. Ultimately, the tree gives away, and you are swimming. And this is the other reason why you kind of jettison some stuff, because it's worst case scenario, and you don't know if that's going to happen or not. So that's why you get rid of stuff, and now you just want to stay on top. You don't want to get buried. So, trying to get up a tree, once again, it's a timely event. And you're not going to out-climb an avalanche coming at you, right? Heck, you look at, like, hurricanes at Katrina and stuff. I mean, the water was rising so fast, people didn't even have time to get to the top of their house.
Good point, man.
It's crazy, right? I mean, Mother Nature, man, she don't give two shits about you.
No, and snow behaving the same way when it's really ripping.
That's right. Yeah. That snow's coming in, it's a wall, and that wall might be just as high as the tree you're trying to climb up.
Right.
So you want to try and swim. Okay, so now, as you swim with the rush, it starts to become overwhelming, all right? It's just getting worse for you. Sorry. Do you A, keep your arms at your side? That probably sounds stupid. Or B, put your hands out in front of your face?
Man, I'm going to put them out in front of my face to protect my face, my eyes, my nose, my senses, and try to make that helmet out of my hands and protect the sensories I'm going to need, out of those eyes.
Yeah, you're protecting your head, but even more importantly, you've got your hands already there to create an air pocket so that you can breathe when everything comes to a stop.
Right here, gotcha.
Yeah. So you're basically thinking ahead and going, okay, I got to create a cavity for myself.
Yeah. Nice.
This is something that, you really got to be thinking, right? So you're moving, breathing obviously is going to become all of a sudden the most important thing in your life. And by placing your hands in front of your face, as you get buried, you can create that air pocket and hopefully breathe for at least a little while in order to figure out next which way is up. Yeah, the precipitation comes to a halt, right? So all of that snow stops, and now you're just buried in the snow. Do you A, dig in the direction your head is facing, or use your senses to determine which way is up?
I'm going to try to use my senses to determine which way is up, because my head could be completely inverted. So I'm going to look for things like, available light from the surface being maybe a little lighter, something ambient, some gravity. If I've created that air pocket and I'm having things drop on me, so I'm going to know basically gravity is going to maybe tell me which way is up, so to speak, in that realm, and just do the best I can with what I can see and feel.
Yeah, you're dead on, man.
Not going to trust where I'm at. Yeah,
that's right. It's vertigo. You've been tumbling. You're going to have a lot of sensory issues, but you're going to use them after you look, listen, and feel. Take a moment, stay calm, and figure out which way is up. You'll be able to feel blood flow. If it's in your head, then you know you're upside down. Another way is to observe which way the snot is running out of your face, right?
That's a good one. Like
or the tears in your eyes. If they're running up your forehead, well, then something is wrong.
The mystery spot isn't adding up, man. Pay attention. That's a good one. Man.
If all the snot is flowing down towards your left ear, then you might be sideways. I don't know, but these are the things that you have to really start paying attention to, and they're usually just right there in your face, common sense stuff, but you go into a panic, and we know how contagious panic can be.
Yes.
And it can just destroy you, and you end up making bad decisions followed by bad actions, and then you're dead. So that's not a good place to be.
Great.
Yes. So snot, people, snot. Which way is your snot going? And like we talked about with the first line gear, right? You've got all your life support items. I'll tell you what, if you can get to a pocket, and in that pocket is a lighter, you can also just flip that lighter on, and whichever way the flame goes is up, right? Go towards the flame.
Yeah.
But if you try and start that thing and you're burning your thumb off, then you're probably upside down. All right.
Nice.
Okay. All right. So after determining which way is up, do you A, punch an air channel from your face upward, or B, try to get upside down and kick the snow above you?
I'm going to try to punch an air channel.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Time is kind of going to be of the essence, and we're not going to get inverted in an igloo. That doesn't sound rewarding.
No, getting upside down when you're surrounded by snow is going to be very difficult anyway.
That's good.
It's like being in a trunk of a car. It's not like you got the space to sit here and do much. But yeah, punching up obviously will create more of an air channel, get you closer to the surface, and hopefully make it easier for the rescue teams to find you and dig their way to you. You're listening to Can You Survive This Podcast? Thanks for tuning in. Please make sure to subscribe, rate, and share on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your favorite shows.